Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I'm your host, Uzma Khan, and you're watching Sisters Corner on IQRA TV. Welcome to the show. In this program, we always come with a lovely guest and discuss very important topics. And today, we are going to discuss about childhood trauma and youth challenges with our lovely guest, Afsha Khan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to the show. And it's my pleasure having you again today with me.
I'm honored.
Thank you very much. Obviously, today we are going to discuss the topic childhood trauma and youth challenges in this program. Childhood trauma is one of the main reason I would say sometimes to dissolve the marriages. क्योंकि हम लोग कभी भी ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि हम अपने पास्ट को बिल्कुल भुला दें और प्रेजेंट में आके रहना शुरू कर दें. तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें जो हमने चाइल्डहुड में जिनके साथ हमने ज़िंदगी गुजारी होती है, we have been through, we have faced different challenges or anger, problems, different issues in marriage. तो वो सारे आपको कहीं ना कहीं अफेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं और वो लॉन्ग टर्म आप पे लाइट ऑन जाते हैं आपकी लाइफ में, आपके बच्चों में, फिर आगे हमारी नस्लों में वो बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म जाते हैं. तो उसी के मुतालिक आज हम बात करते हैं. तो व्हाट इज़ चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल प्लीज़?
Okay, Bismillah. Childhood trauma can be anything that a child experiences in their home life, which is the familial environment, and then you have the school environment. So anything that they, for example, in the home environment, I think we discussed this before, like domestic violence, parents always fighting, arguments, maybe neglect. One thing I hear a lot of my clients saying is that my mom was always busy. So we never had any hugs, never kisses. It was just, okay, food on the table, clothes are washed, that's it. The need of a child is also love, affection. So they're lacking in that. And obviously at school, it may be bullying. Maybe they may have some issues like dyslexia and it hasn't been picked up. So things like that, that's what affects, that is childhood trauma, which people carry through, like, you know, like shopping bags. They get heavier and heavier.
If we talk about like childhood trauma, and I can see like lots of children these days, they are having like lack of communication again because of the trauma they have been through, or they are having anger issues because of the trauma they have been through in their childhood, or they are going through anxiety, depression. Obviously, all kind of some of the children are autistic, some have issues with dyslexia, ADHD, EL, or kind of like different special needs children as well. And it is sometimes, it is the cause of whatever they have been through in during childbirth, or if the mother is going through a lot of anxiety, stress from her husband, or from the family around, or anything going around, you know. And that is affecting while the child is unborn.
Yes, in the womb.
Yeah, in the womb. And then later on, after birth as well. So it starts from there. Because if we have a happy mom, then happy children.
Of course.
Yeah. And this is very important, like pregnancy ke duran bhi, wahan se hum log, why I'm starting from there, because it starts from there. तो वो एक ट्रॉमा अनबोर्न बच्चे का वहाँ से शुरू हो जाता है कि जब अभी वो वॉर्म में होता है, ठीक है. और वहाँ से इफ़ के मम इज़ नॉट हैप्पी, तो जो हार्मोन्स एंड एवरीथिंग, ब्लड सर्कुलेशन, वट एवर इज़ गोइंग थ्रू, it does affect the child as well. Yeah. Please, can you explain a bit more in detail why it is important for women to be happy while they are pregnant? Because the childhood एक kind of वहाँ से शुरू हो जाता है बच्चा unborn baby से. Or why it's important for a man to keep his wife very happy, comfortable and relaxed while she is pregnant.
Well, look, obviously, if a mum, like you said, if mum is happy, then obviously the baby is happy. And people sometimes do what they call trauma from the uterus. something that I don't do, but I know people said this is deal with these kind of things because there's no memory there, but maybe there is something that the child's picked up. But whether a woman is pregnant or not, the thing is, if you're stressed, then everything in your body is stressed, isn't it? So especially if you are carrying a child, this is a very important time to even work harder on your marriage, or even work harder in trying to have a relaxed kind of atmosphere where you're going to go through obviously trauma having a child. But then later on in life, maybe that child may or may not remember things, because obviously you have the conscious and unconscious mind. So baby's not going to remember. Like when I take people back to their childhood, usually the first memory people have is 18 months. Some people have memories from 18 months.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they may not have anything before that.
देखिए असल में ना ये जो मेमोरी है ना वो बेबी की तो अनबॉर्न जब होता है तब से शुरू हो जाती है, बिकॉज कि जब बेबी पैदा होता है तो ऑल ऑफ द सडन ही नोज द साउंड्स अराउंड. जब उसको पुकारें तो ही नोज दैट दिस इज माय मम. ही कैन स्मेल, ही कैन अंडरस्टैंड द साउंड, यू नो. सो वॉइस जो भी डैड की हो, मम की हो, तो ही इज़ एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड a few words and you know. तो वहाँ से ही उसकी obviously जब नशोनुमा growth शुरू होती है तो अगर मम इज़ हैप्पी इन अ रिलैक्स्ड एनवायरनमेंट तो वो उसके लिए लेट ऑन होता है. तो फिर हम जब बात करते हैं बच्चा ऑब्वियसली बॉर्न हो गया, फिर हम लोग समटाइम ऐसे होता है कि हम सोचते हैं कि बच्चे तो बच्चे हैं, दे डू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड अवर लैंग्वेज. समटाइम ये भी होता है और समटाइम्स हम ये सोचते हैं कि उनको क्या पता है हम क्या कर रहे हैं, क्या सोच रहे हैं, यू नो. तो जो किस तरह से आप सोचती हैं, किस तरह से आप इसको हमारे आगे एक्सप्लेन करेंगी कि चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा के हवाले से जब हम बात करते हैं अंडर 5, एज ऑफ अंडर 5, बहुत सारे लोग ये समझते हैं कि उनको इतना पता नहीं होता, वो तो बच्चा है, कोई बात नहीं है, वो अंडरस्टैंड नहीं करता. लेकिन चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा असल में अनबॉर्न बेबी से ही शुरू होता है. तो थोड़ा सा प्लीज़ हमें डिटेल में बताएं.
देखिए अभी आप कभी देखें ना, बच्चा कहीं खेल रहा है और आप उसका नाम लें और आप सोचे कि वो बहुत बिजी है खेलने में, एकदम उसके ना अटेंशन हो जाएगी जब उसका नाम आएगा. तो बच्चे जो है ना दे पिक अप ऑन दिस थिंग्स, दे पिक अप ऑन द एनवायरनमेंट. लाइक हमेशा कपल्स को ये कहते हैं डोंट फाइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द चिल्ड्रन, यू नो, डोंट आर्ग्यू फॉर द चिल्ड्रन, इट्स नॉट गुड. वेट टिल दे गॉन टू बेड, वेट टिल दे यू नो स्लीपिंग इफ यू नीड टू, obviously, because the child will pick up, even he's not or she's not listening, you think they're not listening, they say, oh, he's a kid, he doesn't know. But of course they know. A 6-month-old child, if you start crying, he will turn to the mother. And look, what's going on? They pick up, they pick everything up. So how can we say that children don't know? So, you know, we have to be very careful, the kind of language, the kind of environment, the way our relationship is. Because I'll tell you one thing that damages a child more than anything is the relationship with the mom and dad. If that's not right, I'm sorry, that's the foundation gone.
और वही बात होती है कि this age, especially when we talk about the children, they are, you know, it's more about practical. What they see, they catch what they see, rather than we are giving lectures all the time, like 24 hours, you know, sitting and telling them this is. But unless we are not doing it, if we are not showing them practically, it doesn't affect them a lot, isn't it? Because कि जो हमारी आसपास की जो environment है, it's too attractive. और जब obviously कि आप के relationship में जब वो loving नहीं है, जब वो प्यार मोहब्बत नहीं है, तो वो उनको affect कर रही होती है कहीं ना कहीं, even though they are not around, but they can't see it.
Of course.
Yeah. So how important is it to have that relationship for the children, loving environment, कि उनको इस child trauma से बचाया जा सके?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. I always think the best gift you can give a child is a happy marriage. It's the best gift. They don't need toys. They don't need expensive things, expensive holidays. They need 2 parents that are coherent, are loving, because you are the best role model. A lot of times, you know, when I see sisters, they don't want to get married, or brothers in their 40s, they don't want to get, and I know there's some mental block. And I always think, you know, did your mom and dad have a bad marriage? That's why I don't want to get married. Even they want to get married, but every time they want to get married, they're scared because I don't want to end up like my mom and dad. So we don't understand how much trauma can, ruin our lives.
Because they have that fear inside them somewhere, which is not letting them to go ahead. Because they are scared of not getting married, but they are scared of putting another one, like if they have children, especially, and because they have been through that, situation, and they don't want to put their own children in that situation. If this thing happen again, and they are kind of scared of those feelings, so which is very important to understand the child trauma, because it does affect you for your whole life. And it does impact then later on as well, because you cannot come out of that relationship. And it's not like being a husband and wife together, but having a loving relationship is more important than keeping them together.
Yes.
ऐसे भी होता है sometimes कि husband wife, they are married of 35 years, but still wife is going through domestic violence, and children are seeing it. Because they are not having happy environment.
And they're together for the children.
Yes.
The children are getting messed up.
Exactly. So, हमें उसके मतलब please थोड़ा सा बात करें, because a lot of information I can see in this book as well. So, जो marriages होती हैं, बाज़ औक़ात the husband and wife are together, but they are actually not together. If I'm right, I'm using the right term,
Yes, of course, they're not really together.
Physically they are there, but mentally they are not there. Mentally they are not there for their children as well, because they are not giving the happy environment, comfortable, peaceful environment to the kids. And which is very important, far important than being together, and giving them the comfortable, peaceful environment, other than, suppression and these kind of things comes up. So please, मुझे इस बारे में I would like to ask you, how important is being together in a peaceful environment?
Nature and nurture, isn't it?
Very true.
So, so people stay together for the sake of the children, okay? But what they don't do is don't provide a peaceful environment for the children.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So when I'm a teenage counselor, so when I work with teenagers, or even with adults later on in life, they come and see me, they said that I wish that I had one parent that was okay and was good and stable, than having two parents who used to fight all the time.
Yes.
That's caused me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And I work a lot with anxiety. It's one of the main things I work with, anxiety. And the anxiety is like, for example, OCD, all these kind of things, depression, panic attacks. There's always a root cause for that. And the root cause, when I take people back, is usually the childhood. That's where it starts. I always consider like an onion. You have a root, and then you have the layers and layers and layers and layers. And then when the panic attack happens, it's because it started with the root. It's usually 99% with my experience of 40 years, it's the childhood. That's where it starts.
हमारे सोसाइटी में अगर देखा जाए तो बहुत सारे हमारे जो आसपास के लोग हैं, आंटीज़ हैं, हमारे अपने जो फ्रेंड्स हैं, नेबर्स हैं, और मुस्लिम ब्रदर्स सिस्टर्स हम लोग देखते हैं, तो ऑल द टाइम एक लेक्चर होता है कि you have children, कोई बात नहीं बेटा, if he's doing domestic violence, if he's hitting you, mentally he's taking you to the one of the worst place, where you're nearly going to have a nervous breakdown, but still they are kind of pressurizing you to stay in the marriage for sake of kids, for sake of children. And they do not know the actual reason behind, why, what is the cause of a happy marriage, and how important it is for the kids to have a peaceful environment, rather than staying in the marriage because ego, लोग क्या कहेंगे कि उसने divorce ले लिया, लोग क्या कहेंगे कि separation हो गई है. So या तो ऐसे होता है कि 25 साल, 40 years, 45 years, 25 years marriage होती है, और वो सारे बच्चों को इस कदर वो ख़राब कर चुके होता है, वो उनका साथ रहना, कि बच्चों का वो जो चाइल्डहुड ट्रॉमा है वो सेपरेशन से, डाइवोर्स से कहीं ज़्यादा होता है. बिकॉज कि एक होता है कि यू आर टुगेदर, एंड देन योर मैरिज वेंट फॉर 10 years, और like 5 years and then आप लोगों का आपस में divorce हो गया, separation हो गई, तो the domestic violence is ending there, because you are separated. And then the children are sometimes they are in a very peaceful environment with single parent rather than being together. तो वो जो childhood trauma होता है, that is better than ending up. You know, लेकिन समटाइम ऐसे भी होता है कि हम लोग for long we go for the marriage 45 years 25 years, तो बच्चे 5 साल का उनका ट्रॉमा नहीं होता, उनका ट्रॉमा होता है for whole life, 30 years 25 years. तो वो childhood trauma, then young age, then youth challenges, then adult, then वो जब parents बनते हैं तो उनका भी वो ट्रॉमा से जा रहे होते हैं. You know, this is the whole life, this whole. तो वो जो बिकॉज के थ्रू आउट देयर लाइफ जो 30 में मैरिज या तो करते हैं या नहीं करते, 35 में करते हैं या नहीं करते, 40 में करते हैं या नहीं करते, लेकिन उनका जो लाइफ का पूरा एक सर्कल गुजर चुका होता है, उसमें उन्होंने वो पीसफुल चीज़ नहीं देखी होती है, वो प्यार वो मोहब्बत अपने माँ बाप में नहीं देखी होती है,
वो नहीं देखा,
तो वो उनको ज़्यादा डैमेज कर देता है. तो इसके बारे में थोड़ा हमें प्लीज़ बताएं.
तो ये जैसे आप कह रही हैं ये सब सिचुएशन होती हैं घरों में, ये प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, तो अब तो काफ़ी चाइल्ड थेरेपीज भी हो गए हैं. अगर फॉर एग्जांपल अब आपने 10 साल डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस में आप, और हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि आप सब्र ना करें, बिकॉज सब्र इज़ अ वेरी
एग्जैक्टली,
मगर कुछ ऐसे हालात होते हैं स्पेशली जब मारपीट हो रही है या अब्यूज़ हो रहा है या इवन सेक्शुअल अब्यूज़ हो रहा है, then you have to be very careful. Then there is obviously in Islam oppression is not allowed.
Exactly.
So you have the right to end the marriage or separate. So when children's 10 years of abuse and then suddenly you leave your partner, and whether it's your husband or wife, and then everything's okay with the peaceful, but you have to remember they went through 10 years of trauma. They need some therapy. They need some help, especially before they get married. But I would say if your children have seen trauma, if they've seen domestic violence or they've been through any abuse in their life, because a lot of people come to me in the adulthood and said that we've been abused as children. And they'll talk about it now. And the parents haven't picked up on it. So the child has become withdrawn, the child is scared, and the parents haven't picked up. Why has my child become like that? So then you have to get them therapy. That's the only thing you can do. So they don't carry this into their marriage.
Exactly, because these therapies are very important for them and very informative and very helpful as well. Because your child can discuss anything he wants because they are specialized as well. And you are providing some therapies as well for the children or teenage or young generation at the moment. Children who are going through anxiety and different kind of disorders because of depression and their childhood traumas as well. So why obviously these days we can see a lot of children, they don't want to go to school, or if they're going to school still they're not happy there because their home environment is not very happy. तो कैसे आप क्या एडवाइस करना चाहेंगी पेरेंट्स को इस वक्त कि अगर उनके बच्चे जो हैं वो स्टडीज़ में इतना अच्छा रिजल्ट्स नहीं दे रहे हैं या दे आर नॉट हैप्पी समवेयर, दे आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल इन स्कूल एज वेल, तो उनको क्या करना चाहिए, वेयर दे हैव टू लुक फॉर और व्हाट दे शुड बी डूइंग?
Well, first of all, they should know their child. If a child suddenly, for example, starts hitting his siblings, or if a child becomes very withdrawn, or even starts to bedwet at 7 years old, these are all signs that the child is going through some trauma. You have to pick up, just be aware. Sadly, at the moment, in the teaching profession, because there's so much red tape now, there's so much to do, they have to meet so many targets. Before, teaching was like you mentor the children, you're there for the child. Now children, because I know I have a lot of teachers I counsel, they say it's really hard because you don't have that time to be there for the child. So the child loses it at home, loses it at school. Who does the child speak to? Isn't it? So again, I would say to all parents that you spend time with your child. You talk
that's
to your
very
child.
important.
You notice your child. Obviously, I'm also a parenting coach. I do a lot of work around parenting. You have to know the signs.
Close observation is very important, actually. And you should be knowing as a parent what your child wants, what he needs, what he's doing, what he's going through. इसी के मतलब थोड़ी मज़ीद तफसील से हम लोग बात करते रहेंगे सिस्टर अफशा के साथ, लेकिन वक्त हुआ चाहता है एक शॉर्ट ब्रेक का, और शॉर्ट ब्रेक के बाद फ़ौरन हाज़िर खिदमत होती हैं. हमारे साथ रहिएगा.